think we're going to see more streamers take the Jerma route in the future where they quote unquote retire from streaming all the time, but still do it. I think so too. I think so too. No, I agree. I think it's healthy to do that. I think people think of streaming like this thing that once it becomes your job, it can't go back to being casual because they you know, it's like a serious scheduled thing for them for so long. But it, you could just be like, yeah, I'll stream today once every 2 months if you really want. Like, it's fine to let it fall back into being casual. I've noticed some YouTubers have done that too. Not too many, but a few YouTubers have started like side channels where they just throw vlogs on occasionally, but they don't think about it. They don't worry about it. They don't care how it does. It's just like because they like making those videos occasionally. And some of them started doing it on their main channels once they realized they weren't going back to their main like that, like in a serious way, you know? And it's good to see. So I hope more people do soft retirements like that. Really, the only people that do hard retirements are people who are like deciding to pivot to something else and they want to hard retire from streaming, so that way they're not tempted to go back. They can actually like be like, nope, that's not me anymore. I'm focusing on, you know, this new thing. Or VTubers when they graduate, which I don't love. I don't love that. Can I be honest? I wish there were like a buyout program. Like if you're part of a corpo and they own your IP, I think it'd be so cool because I understand why they should own your IP, et cetera, et cetera. It totally makes sense. I think it'd be so cool if you can have a buyout program where you can straight up buy out the IP and take it with you that way. Or have it be like if you got a certain amount of earnings that they take a portion of. If you can go above a certain bracket, then, you know, the buyout is this much, then the buyout is that much, and, you know, reduces until maybe if you've earned so much over the course of 8 years, then boom, you just have fully earned it at this point, right? Like you just have to make them their money back plus paying like whatever employee salaries, hours they needed to put on you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? I think stuff like that would be great. Could just be an option potentially. But then again, it's in the business's interest to just keep the IP, to be honest, because that's a thing to keep your community from getting fragmented. So I like strategy wise, I get it. But if, you know, for the sake of the VTubers, I wish it were possible. I don't know. I prefer what VShojo has, where it's essentially like I can just license my shit out to them. Licensing like any sort of brand deal. Like if Coca-Cola were like, I want to put you on a Coke can, I'd be like, okay, here's a license with terms of how you can use my IP. When you have to ask me, when you don't have to ask me, et cetera, et cetera. And you just like write out all those terms and sign it. That's a licensing agreement, right? That's kind of how like VShojo does it. So that way there's no ownership on their part. It's 100% yours. So should your overall agreement be done, the licensing thing kind of ends and you keep all your stuff. There was no like they owned it for a time thing or anything like that. It's just always under you, which is nice.